Hi everyone, it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing. I'm calling this better late than never, right? This is in All Things Give Thanks. This is going to be one of the 22 by 22 inch pillows from Kimberbell. And I should have had it done for Thanksgiving, which was 2 days ago, but I didn't. But I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I did the spreadsheet. I don't even know if I posted this, but I will go ahead and post this. I kind of wanted to post it after I made all the changes I need to make. But I'm not going to stitch in order. I'm going to start right here with these, the middle blocks. And those are the kind of fun ones here, like the turkey, the small turkey, the pumpkins, the wreath, the house, and the maple leaves. And I think I'm going to do the maple leaves later because I did a little, what do I call it? Just like a little dress rehearsal beforehand. And I loaded these together. They're going to all stitch out together. But let's get started with these. I have everything. I did my prep video and loaded that. And these are my grouped and prepped pieces. So that should be ready for you to view. I have thread colors. I haven't quite totally chosen my thread colors. I know that I'm going to be using burnt orange. I'm going to be using dark brown. Pinot. Is this Pinot? That's not Pinot. Where is it? I know I pulled it out. Here it is. What's this? Oh, turkey 2. I love turkey 2 over there. And of course, you're going to be using linen. Everyone should have linen. And I'm going to play with my browns because maybe I'll decide that I like my brunette or my coffee bean better. I'm pretty sure we're going to use ginger and Arabian and then some of these other ones. So I'm just going to pull those out to the side for right now. And let's go ahead and let's get started. So let's go to the machine. So let's start by hooping up for the pumpkin. We'll have this conversation right up front because people always ask. I use muslin instead of no-show mesh when I'm doing something that's quilted, like this, or nativity, or one of the quilts like Falling into Autumn. I like it because it's not as plasticky feeling as the no-show mesh. And I wouldn't call this a stabilizer. I would just call it a base. And when you're building a base and you have batting as well as stabilized background fabric, then this is going to be enough. Muslin's going to be enough. And for me, it's just, like I said, it's more a tactile thing. I just like the way it feels in the end project better than I like the no-show mesh or the light mesh stabilizers. So these are the hoops I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using a 6x10. I'm going to be using, these are the magnetic hoops, and the 10x10 magnetic hoop, those, I feel like those magnets are kind of hard to get off. These are the ones for my 5x7 and my 7x12. There's also a 7x14 that you can get and a 4x4. But I feel like these are really easy to get off, and I really like using these hoops. So I just keep all my magnets all together, and then my hoops, I just take them out when I'm ready. So if you're using a 5x7, I like to cut my I like to cut my muslin 10.5 inches, and if I'm using the 7x12, I cut it 12.5 inches, and I'll add that into the spreadsheet because it's not really in there yet. So let's go ahead and we're going to do the pumpkin first, and that's in a 5x7 or 7x12, and I'm just going to do it in my 5x7, but I could do it in my 7x12 and take the design and turn it so it fills this top part of the hoop as well. But let's go ahead and we'll do 5x7 because it fits in there, right? Yes, fits in there perfectly. Here is, let me go ahead and maybe set this back a little bit. And I leave it on, I like 90-inch muslin. And it's kind of having like a roll of stabilizer. And I don't cut it down. I just hoop, stitch, move it up, rehoop, and stitch. And that way you're not losing big chunks of your fabric. You're using every last bit of it and you're going to be saving. Not really sure which ones go on here. I'm trying to put this on first. And the side that kind of dips down, that goes to the inside. Whoop. Hang on. Let me just put this in. Is that on? I wonder if these are all the small ones. I think it's I think we have smalls. There we go. Much better. I just kind of drop them into place. Oop. Do we have one big one? I think we have one big one on the top. Okay. Whoop. Butterfingers. And we are hooped and ready to go. Let's take that over to the machine. All right, let's go ahead and load our design. I'm going to go embroidery. You know, I don't even know if I have this on here. Let's see. In all things, that's all digital dealer cuties. Give me one sec. I got to put it on my USB. Okay, we're ready now. I'm going to touch my USB. I'm in my lower USB, and here's the folder, In All Things Give Thanks. And I'm going to be doing the pumpkins first. So that's going to be this design for the 5x7. Let's go ahead and set it. I've already chosen my 5x7 hoop. Oh, you know what? Other thing I forgot. I'm a little rusty here. But this is good because I'm going to show you how to flip the design, and this is a feature that's going to be on the Luminaire and the Solaris. So I'm going to go ahead and add. And we are going to add the quilting design, which is Autumn 5 4x6 vertical. So Autumn 5. Here's Autumn 5. And we want 4x6 vertical. Here is 4x6. Horizontal comes first and then vertical. So this is the one that we want. And we're going to set that. Okay. Everything is centered, so we don't have to move anything. Comes in like it comes in. However, designs will stitch in the order that you load them. So it's going to want to stitch this out first and then the other design. So you can switch that. I can go edit. And right down here, this button will let you change the order in which things are stitched. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the back to the front, just like that. And we'll say, okay, piece of cake. Now we're going to touch embroidery. That will combine your two designs. I'm going to go layout. My hoop is already on my machine. I'm going to go move, and I'm going to scoot it up to the top. And that's going to maximize the amount of fabric that we can, or the amount of muslin that we're going to be using. These are the colors that I pulled out. So I'm using peach, burnt orange, and aloe, and I'm adding this to the spreadsheet, so you'll have those. And the first thing it wants to do is a placement line for your batting. And you're going to see here, all of these are quilt first. Oh, this one. At quilting. That should say add. I don't know why I put at. Typo. I will fix that too. I like doing it like this because then I can see all my mistakes. And then I can fix those so you have something perfect for you. Okay. Where is this thread coming from? Oh, here we go. Sorry about that. I'm going to do a color you can see. The quilting is going to be done in linen, but I'll put a color that you can see so it makes it easier for you. It just means I'm going to be doing a couple more color changes. And I was also thinking, actually, I'm going to take that out. I'm going to be using these to do the demo video, December demo video. And I think having a color that's nice and bright makes a difference. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put in burnt orange. Burnt orange, burnt orange. I want to see what I'm going to be stitching out to on my screen. So I'm going to touch layout and that shows me what we're stitching out. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go where we go minus and plus stitches. So now I can see what we're stitching, but I can also skip steps, which is something that we're going to be doing. Okay. Placement for my batting. Let's get our batting pieces. And our background piece. So I'm going to grab my background, which is the plaid, and my batting. Actually, we'll grab them all because we'll spray them all right now. Here's my spray tent, my handy dandy spray tent. And, oh, hang on. There we go. There's my dime spray tent. And I'm just going to put these down in here. Let's do background and batting first let's do batting first because that's going to get put down. There's a wrong side. You want to spray the wrong side. This was a little ick. My spray nozzle. Let's see if we can clean it off. It was kind of not spraying in the right direction. Better. Just a little bit. And I'm going to spray my background fabric too. You don't need a lot. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's barely coming out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this down. You do not need to do the tack down because we've cut it to size. And I'll oftentimes cut it like the tiniest bit bigger. And then we're going to take our background fabric and we're going to center it to this and we're going to cover that too. I don't spray in my hoop very often. I do spray in my hoop every once in a while. And so they're ready to go. Let's just go ahead and spray the back of our 2 applique pieces as well. And now you guys know what I'm doing when I say I'm spraying in my spray tent, because I won't show you that anymore. I just like to kind of show it to you that first time. Okay, we are going to do the tack down, but we've got to skip some steps. So this step here is tack down for the batting. We don't need that because we cut it to size. This is placement for your background fabric. We don't need that because we already laid it down. This orange is your tack down for your background fabric, and this you need. And sometimes it's really nice to do it in a color that you can see because we're going to use that to fussy cut when we use our pop rulers. And this is really your cut line, or it's kind of your cut line. It's always a little bit smaller than your actual cut line. So picking a nice bright color, it makes it easier to fussy cut. If you did it in white, then you'd barely be able to see it. Okay, we are going to do our background quilting. I'm going to do mine in linen. Oh, I forgot to pull that out for you. And I need to add that. Oh, you know what? It's already in my spreadsheet. It's already there. I'm that good. I put at instead of add. That is really how good I am. Here we go. And this is cute. It's acorns and leaves. And it's on the spreadsheet. It says linen, quilt first, centered. Tells you everything you need right here. I think this is a pretty simple embroidered pillow. After we do this, then we're going to get started with and this information is all in here. I just kind of put it all in one place on that spreadsheet. After we do this, we're going to stitch the flower stem detail. I have, I didn't pull that color yet, did I? I feel like I want to do a brown that's not quite as dark brown. Dark brown is pretty, but it's pretty dark. I think I'm going to go, I really like this. This is brunette. Brunette's one of my favorite browns. Okay, I'm taking out my linen and I'm putting in brunette. It's like dark without being too dark, and it's a nice brown. Some of the other browns are a little red, a little black. This one's just right. Here's the stems. This is step 2 in your directions. It says stitch the flower stem detail. And then we're going to put in the peach. We could trim that right now, or we could, live on the edge, trim it later. I love living on the edge and trimming while it's stitching. Okay, now we're doing step 3. It says stitch the flower one fill, and I'm doing that in peach. This peach is perfect to go with the that kind of orange pretty petals. It's a little bit lighter, but I like that. And it goes really well with the burnt orange too that I'm going to be using. All right, go ahead and stitch the flower fill. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to stitch the pumpkin stem and flower 2 fill. I'm going to be using aloe. Isn't that pretty? Getting thick in that center. Okay, change out your peach and let's go ahead and put in your green. You can use any of your favorite greens. Sometimes it doesn't quite pull it all the way through, and it's a good idea to just grab it. I'm going to make that a little bit shorter. There we go. Whoops. That was an accident. Hit the wrong button. This step right here, we're stitching the pumpkin stem and flower. Step 4. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch the placement line for the large pumpkin. Color doesn't make a difference, so I'll just leave this color in. And then the next color that we're going to use is going to be that burnt orange or a dark orange. Okay, go ahead and hit start again. This is the placement stitch. Grab your fabric. You want to grab the Pretty Petals orange. So this is what we're going to be putting down. I already sprayed mine. Okay, go ahead and lay that down. I'm going to change my thread out. And I'm putting, and the colors I'm using, these are all glide colors. And when I'm doing a Kimberbell project, I really like to use glide because that's the colors that they use and they use in their thread kits and everything else. So we're going to tack this down. This right here is step number 7. Stitch the large pumpkin tack down line and detail. And then we're going to do 8. We're going to trim close to the stitch line. So I'm going to get my snips ready, my favorite snips. Okay, my favorite snips have become these. And they're made by Havel. And it's I want to say they're called Snippies. We sell them at the store, but these are my favorite. What I like is I like the blades are a little bit longer and they're a little bit stronger. So, so they'll work well on a piece of fabric that's backed with Shapeflex. Okay, we're going to go ahead and trim that. I'm going to snip this thread first. I like the hook. And it says trim close to the stitch line. So let's go nice and close. Curved scissors will let you get closer to your stitch than a regular straight edge. Oh my goodness. Can I tell you how naughty Poppy has been? And I saw her today, we were hanging out in our TV room, and then she left, and I could see her. She immediately went into the kitchen. Well, as she was walking by, we have a little wet bar. She looked on the top of that countertop to see if there was anything naughty she could get, and then she went to the kitchen, and she was counter surfing. We have to be so careful. Is that adorable? That is so cute already. Stitch the pumpkin, stitch the large pumpkin satin outline. Just go ahead and hit start. We told our kids they have to leave their bathroom door shut. And you know how kids are. In one ear and out the other. Because she's going in there and pulling whatever she can, floss. Razors. They both left their razors on the shelf, and luckily, Poppy was fine. Like, she chewed like the handle part, and which makes you super nervous just that she got that. She causes probably, I don't know, $100 worth of damage a day. That's an exaggeration, but there are some days where it's more than that, and it's every day. We can't leave her unsupervised. This is so cute. She chewed the soles on Patrick's shoes. She got something of mine the other day. Oh, the pom-pom on one of my hats. She's just seek and destroy. That's her motto. Seek and destroy. Okay, after we do the satin stitch on this, we're going to stitch the small pumpkin placement line. We're going to use the same burnt orange. this is 3 minutes of stitching. We are 9 minutes into our 13-minute stitch out. Don't you love this hoop? I just love it. I know I made it look complicated in the beginning because I was trying to use the wrong magnets. I think I'll remember after using these. I've only used them a couple of times, but with the 5x7, you just have to remember one big on top and bottom and 2 smalls on either side. Okay, go ahead and do the placement line for the smaller pumpkin. Just hit start. And let me grab my fabric. This is step number 10. And then we're going to place our fabric. We're going to do the tack down, and then we're going to trim. Okay. I had already pre-sprayed that. That's why I'm just laying it down. If you love tape, I want you to tape. I love spray. I just love it. It makes me happy. Sorry, hooks the cord, it's wrapped around my foot. Ooh, that's a fun little pattern, isn't it? And then you're going to trim close to this, the outer stitch line. And it's going to do, you want to get it nice and close though, because it's going to do that kind of Kimberbell stitch. That kind of shows if you, it's not a satin stitch, so it's not quite as thick. Okay, I'm going to pull that towards me a little bit. So try and get nice and close. And if you notice, I do cut with both my hands. And it just makes it easier. You don't have to take your project out of the hoop. You can just do it right on the machine. And with snips, I mean, snips, you're just pinching. You're just pinching together. So I don't know if it's hard. It seems so easy to me. Practice. Try it. See how you like it. See that? That's too far. Okay. Good. There we go. Go ahead and hit start, and now it's going to do that fun decorative outline. And the next color it wants, it wants you to do the center of the 2 flowers, so right here and here, calls for tan. And I pulled out a tan. If I'm going to use tan, I would use cashmere. That looks kind of boring to me, so I'm going to use lemon ice, which is like a light yellow that I really like. So I'm going to use lemon ice. Let me go add this to my spreadsheet. Okay, flower centers. I'm doing this light, pale yellow. It's the best way to describe it. You know, I've been trying not to eat as many sweets as I normally eat, but this lemon ice reminds me of my favorite Italian ice that Patrick and I get in the summers. Well, it's not as good as like if you got it, you know, at an Italian ice place in New York City or something like that, but we just get it from the grocery store and it's so good. Okay, we're gonna do flower center. It's a little bit thick. If your needle breaks, that's why. And do not stitch the next step. We are done. Though that's our pumpkin. And get ready and we will stitch out our next one, which is going to be the wreath. Thanks for joining me.